You're listening to the Classic Gamers Guild podcast.
Welcome to the Classic Gamers Guild podcast, where we explore the world of classic games and the nostalgia that they bring. In this episode, we will be delving into the world of adventure games and discussing some of the classic gaming antagonists that have made the game so memorable. So sit back, grab your favorite beverage, and join us as we explore the world of classic gaming antagonists in Sierra Adventure Games. Hi, Paul. How's it going?
I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty. Man, that's some really wet water. It's really good. I'm really good. Hey, we're talking about bad guys.
Mm-hmm. I was busy looking for my list of antagonists.
I didn't want to admit that I had 4 hours to play.
Okay, and this is a classic example of what an antagonist does. They take a process that's trying to move forward smoothly and they mess it all up and make things happen. And that's we're just being antagonistic about this whole episode. In fact, we didn't want to record it. We didn't really want to talk about it. And now here it is. You're going to have to take whatever you guys can get.
The real antagonist was in us the whole time, I think is what I was trying to say. You know, I can, okay, all right. I made a bunch of questions just in case there was an emergency scenario where we couldn't get it together.
Right. Thank God.
Exactly, right? So here we go. Anna, in
Yes,
all
Paul.
of adventure games ever, please consider all of them at once. Who is the best surprise villain? Like of a villain that just came out of a game and you're like, I did not think it was going to be that guy.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right? And I've answered none of my own questions, so I can't fill any thinking space with what I think. But I will do my best to just quickly say I was very surprised to find out that I started with this question.
Yeah, that's a pretty intense question to start with. I'm doing some brain racking here. Surprised.
I'm so sorry.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I mean, how many adventure games were there that the villain was even presented as a surprise for us to have just an abundance to pick from off of our hips here?
Colonel's bequest at the end, you know, if you pick wrong, obviously, I don't want to say who it is that did it now. That would be too early in this episode for a spoiler, but you're kind of surprised at the end, especially if you make the wrong choice. And the game still ends anyways. And you're like, this doesn't feel quite right, but
Right.
okay, they're driving home now. Everything must be cool. And then you're just like, so if you never played a game, for example, and you don't play it right, you'd totally be surprised if you actually played it through and found out that wasn't even, you just fucked somebody's life right over. You're just like, oh, whoops. He's a viable person. I just messed with that.
Okay. This is off to one of our famous great starts here, because it's like best surprise villain is Laura Bow when you enter like the wrong person in, right? Or like
Yes.
or if you put like, you know, Laura Bow as the answer, it's like, man, what a surprise. I did not think it was going to be us.
In any, okay, Mouser was pretty surprising in Mario 2 as one of the end guys, and he was throwing the little bombs. You're like,
Yes.
Dude, what are you doing here? Because nothing about the structure of that game was really what you expect. So.
Right, because he was going left and then right, but then he would jump and it'd be like,
And then
whoa.
it's a whole thing. I've now learned the hack. I know exactly where to stand to finish all the bosses in that game now, so that I can do it impressively enough that my kids go, whoa.
Wow. Well, that's just solid parenting that they could appreciate that to begin with. I think we all agree there.
That's important.
See, this is where the episode begins to gain traction. We're getting it together. I decided from forcing on us.
This is early. I mean, usually we don't get it together till halfway through the episode. So, hey, we're on the ball now.
Maybe. Yeah. Let's see how prophetic that really was. Okay, the next question is...
No. You have to answer the question.
You got me. Dang it. I might take a cheat here. Okay. All right. So here come the spoilers. Actually, this isn't for real spoiler. Do I want to spoil this though? Because I love this game. But you should talk about it. Okay, a golden weight.
You did warn people, so
that was the warning. Okay, but actually, hold on. Don't do the 30-second skip yet. Just let me set it up, or else you have to skip a lot of times. Okay, so A Golden Wake is from Brundislav Games from Francisco, and I love this game so much. I feel like it's underrated, and everybody listening should buy it. So I'm going to pick because he is like, he it's a. I don't want to just destroy this with spoilers, but biggest surprise villain is in A Golden Wake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bleep the name in editing so that it doesn't ruin it for people. Yeah. Okay, all right. So we done it. We did a question. I guess I got enough questions to carry this whole thing. We're good. We don't have to worry. Let's just sit back and let the questions guide us. So, where are the questions? Okay.
Where did I put those darn questions?
Okay, this is who had better villains, Sierra or LucasArts, or C, the rest. All the other ones put together.
Mm-hmm. I like to say that LucasArts had great traditional kind of villains that were just real bad guys, like what you'd see in the cartoons and stuff. It was very like or a movie kind of a villain. I think Sierra had slightly more complex villains that sometimes you'd encounter over the course of a series, when you develop a relationship with that villain. And maybe the relationship is depending on what kind of a character you play or how you've even played the game. So like out of Sierra and LucasArts, I find that's, is one better than the other? Well, the typical movie villains are a bit more fleshed out. We know more about them. But the complex villains where you're just like, I'm not even sure who the bad guy is or how he's related or is she good or is she bad? And Quest for Glory series was really good with antagonists being like, Katrina and say Quest for Glory 4. Is she good? Is she bad? How does she relate to my story? And it makes these really complicated relationships and not at all typical to what you'd see, in your movies and things. So yeah, both have pros and cons. It depends on what I'm looking for. Am I sitting back and am I watching a cartoon or am I going to be like reading a book and going a little bit deeper into it? Yeah. Am I supposed to talk about something other than Sierra and LucasArts? I don't think I got any more.
No, I was giving you an out with like the rest for C, all of the above.
For others.
Right,
people.
yeah.
Other people that talk about other things.
Yeah, all those other things. No, it's a very good answer. They're very, very different. I like your use of the word typical at the end because I guess I would say LucasArts there's a clarity to their villains in how they're typical because to LucasArts' credit, there's a clarity and I can almost see how, again, this is one of those things where like what we like in Sierra is actually what drives certain people away from Sierra because just looking at it from like a matter of fact point of view in the sense of like gathering information for this episode, it was kind of tricky to pinpoint Sierra's villains, right? I know you went through this too to a degree where it's like, God damn, because they're like, they pop
Where's
up.
Where's the list?
Yeah, exactly. It's a baffling document that is just their antagonist list. But it's complex in that, like, it seems like Roberta, which I haven't thought about and didn't really notice till today, if it's even a thing. But it seems like in the King's Quest games, I mean, yeah, there's clear villains at times with Manan and was it Abdullah, I believe.
Yeah.
So, or Mordak, is that him too? Am I getting greedy?
There's Adavis from Quest for Glory. That's who I think you were.
That's who I meant. Yeah, Mordak. Maybe.
Look, it's all very Hall or all those.
Yeah, I don't want to accident. Okay, look, listen. The point is, I'm not sure I really had a point, but it's like with Sierra, it's like there's villains are peppered throughout the King's Quest games, where it's like it's not so much about the villain which we can't remember his name at the end of King's Quest 5 or whatever, because it was more about the Yeti and the villains along the way, right? So Sierra was a little tricky in that sense because, I mean, just bouncing around, like it wasn't such a concise list as LucasArts, where it was just like you got your purple tentacle, you got Conroy Bumpkus.
Yeah,
bloody Sam and Max guy. You got Ed, who's kind of the villain for two of them, and LucasArts didn't have as many games, so it's like that's actually quite a hit, quite a representation in just Fred alone.
And God, who it's even hard to tell, like, who's a bad character and who's a bad guy, and bad to who. Are you just bad to the hero of the game? Are you bad in general? You look at like Full Throttle, you've got Malcolm. It's like, yeah, he's a bad guy too, but bad to who, and how many other people is he screwed over? Is he just screwing you over? Is he screwing a whole town over? There's so many different levels of a bad guy.
That's a great point, because I guess like in Leisure Suit Larry might be a good example of like
Is Larry the bad guy?
Well, yeah,
Like,
that's
jeez.
I know what Twitter would say. Am I right? But like with Larry, it's like I think when you're dealing with like heroes of their own story situations, the villains are kind of like useless people. Like you said, they're not really affecting anybody. They're just kind of fucking your day up. And not to say that that's how every villain is in Leisure Suit Larry. God, I am not that comprehensive in my research. I've played them all.
No.
I just I don't remember much. But back to the Sierra LucasArts thing is obviously LucasArts has like some legendary ones like LeChuck and such. But I guess what I'm trying to say is I ended up giving it kind of to neither. I know I joked with the Sierra thing earlier, but I really was thinking about how the others, like there's a strong argument for like Toonstruck, for Sanitarium, for I Have No Mouse because there's Am. Like there's some really strong villains in some of the other games. It's almost disproportionate how well they seem to have done their villains.
Really good.
So anyway, I'm gonna say that you had the best answer, where it's just like Sierra and LucasArts seem to do things
very differently. Yeah, and it just did a super duper like niche-y, like legit. It would be really hard for even me to tell because, like, for the same reason you said, I'm looking through this list of Sierra villains because I'm like, I don't know who any of them really are, and the LucasArts villains come to mind quicker, so it's hard for me to say.
Yeah, it's because I'm like trying to pin it quest by quest was a mistake because that's all I done. Yeah. Because like you look at Space Quest and it's like I mean there's a lot of sludge of Vohal. Yeah. But even with like Space Quest 5, where I guess it's Captain Quirk, but it's like I don't know. It's more like the Dynamex the Mutagen Company. I forgot the play on the name, but it's more complex than just the asshole cadet who's like Dick and Roger around. It's like there's like this kind of whole thing going on, like with the way they're dealing with waste and things like that. So, well, I mean, obviously it's about a janitor, so it's not as nonsense as it sounded.
Yeah, and then you could look at games like EcoQuest. Who's the villain in there? Well, you're looking at who are you trying to protect? What's your ultimate goal?
Well, you're right. That's funny because I was looking at I try. I'm really glad you said that because I tried to get out of this like quest loop I was stuck in because I'm like it's just not clear. So I'm like okay, I look at boxes. I'm like Gold Rush, the mule. I know the fucking grass. Like anybody near you when you're panning for gold.
The submarine and codename Iceman, is that an antagonist?
And then I looked at EcoQuest and I was like, well, knee jerk is it the bad guy in the first one? Let's say is that the giant black manta thing that's given Cletus just the business, and and it's not. I mean, yeah, it is, but is it also not mankind? Are we not the ones littering the oceans or whatever?
Right?
Something preachy. So get a load of this guy, Cam. But like,
isn't he just a representation of?
Right.
Actually,
yeah. Thank you. Exactly. So it's just like I know this is nonsense, but you're the one listening. So first of all,
we didn't make you come over here.
Oh, look in the mirror, buddy.
You came over all on your own. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, guys. We're sorry. I'm not sorry. All right. Next question. Okay. Who had? Oh no, that was that one. Oh, okay. So there's a trope. I'm just gonna annoyingly spell this out for probably nobody, but there's like a trope where Marvel, so the MCU, blah blah blah, the Marvel movies is what I'm trying to say has weak villains, right? That they don't. That they're just like bad guy does bad things, or the bad guy takes the same suit as the good guy, but his suit's a little better and eviler, and then they fight in the same stuff, and they're just. They were criticized for not having depth, and this episode's not about that because I don't care. But for the sake of fun, I just wanted to say, like, who is the most anti-Marvel villain? Like, who is the most, like, not cookie cutter, just the most complex villain that you can think of? And I think I'm going to eliminate Am, because Am's pretty fucking good, and it's from a book, and that's not fair. Because Harlan Ellison had time to really work that out. So let's remove, because I'm tempted to pick him, honestly. I'm going to remove that because I think it's cheap from the book.
Well, I mean, I could say Katrina, again, to reference her. I've already talked to her about her once, though. I'm trying to give you people something new. But she is complex because, you don't know who she is, and she's all kind of disguised at the beginning, and the roots go deeper, and spoiler for people that care about this stuff. But anyways, if you end up playing Oh, you've not played the series through, have you? Do you care about spoilers, Paul?
No, it's okay. I'll forget it.
Okay, that's fine. Anyways, at the end of 5, you get your choice. You can like bring Katrina back from hell and like marry her, or you can, marry Arena, who's all goodness and light, or other people. But the point being, you have that choice. So, is she really an antagonist when you're able to do that and you're able to bring her back in? Anyways, to me, that's a complex character, as somebody that you can like is the bad guy in one place, and then you can marry her in another game. That's pretty complex to me.
Yeah, well played. Very well played. I'm jealous. And I wish I had thought of something like pretty solid while you were saying all that, because I was trying not to really listen because of the spoiler. But I failed at both. Okay, so
I can't imagine you playing Quest for Glory 5 in my freaking life. I would be shocked if you played that game.
I'd have to be left on probably a hell of a cliffhanger from 4. Is that the scenario?
But each one's its own kind of, I mean, other than carrying your character over, and there's threads, like you're going to run into characters from other games, and there's going to be things and enough tie-ins to keep you interested.
Right.
But it's so hard because, the problem is it's 2023. And it's like some games can date really well, and that I love that game. It's my favorite game. I play it every year. And every time I can't finish the whole series without playing it as a part of the series, but I can't imagine coming into it. I wish, it would be the dream, dude. One day it would be the dream.
Yeah, I can't not play it if it's your favorite. I mean, obviously I got to get through all 4 of them, so we might be gray, but I'm going to get there. You'll see.
Yeah, well, my favorite is all 5 of them in order from beginning to end in all of the different classes and all the different mixed classes and all the different ways, but it's not Quest for Glory without all 5 of them.
Right. Yeah, I can never skip to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can't relate to your answer, but I like it.
Okay.
And I hope one day to get there. No, see, I don't stand by that. Most complex. I really should have taken time to probably answer my own thing. But that's good because, it's just
I feel better about my own answers knowing you don't have stuff pre-prepared. I feel like we're on even ground. Sometimes, you can feel tricked if somebody already knows all their own stuff and you're just getting it fresh and you're like, oh, so what? You get like a week to figure it out and I get like 30 seconds. Okay, fine.
Right. Look at me, the dunce. I'm the bloody slow one. That's it. I get it. Okay, good. So we're struggling through these together. Ow.
Yeah, we're good.
I'm gonna say it was one of those like bitchy, unnecessary owls. It's like, why do you do that? For attention, I guess. I don't.
It's like saying what or pardon me when you know perfectly well you heard that person, but your brain hasn't caught up to the fact that you've already heard them until after you say it, and then they tell you again. You're like, never mind, I don't need to hear it.
Worse is when they dig for it. It's like, please don't make me. Please stop. It doesn't matter. It was a fleeting. Okay, I'm gonna go with Clog. I like Clog. He's from Neverhood, and he extends into the Skull Monkeys, and. Yeah, he's man. I don't think I'm giving you guys the best one because I don't believe that answer. It's just it feels like a good answer, but I don't believe in it.
I'm looking it up because I've never played the game, so I'm going to say something that sounds knowledgeable. But Clog Monkey, the first and main antagonist of the Skull Monkeys and the Neverhood. Aha! Of course, good choice, Paul. Good choice.
Yeah, and exactly. Not the Clog you were thinking of. It's the Clog from So
no,
of course. I really I don't know. I liked Lillian. Oh, that's a huge spoiler. But I mean...
Oh, that is if you don't tell them what game it's from,
right,
it's
that's
not
fair.
A spoiler.
But if you know. All right, so that's... But that's not complex at all. What am I doing? That's okay. I mean, it's not that it's not complex, because actually the backstory, I'll just stop there. But
it is, but yes.
Can that count? Yeah, I think I'm going to...
I think it counts.
Okay,
counts to me.
I'm going to go with that, because there's a lot of psychological reasoning behind the whole situation, if you really read into it, which I did today. So.
We explain everything and we give spoilers, but sometimes some spoilers we just can't give, I'm afraid. Moving on.
Yeah, not that one. You're not getting it. You'll have to Google that.
All on your own.
It's going to be really inconvenient. 6 seconds. All right. Next question is... this sucks. Fuck this guy who wrote these. The next question is, who's the most Marvel villain? So, all right, that's at least easier. Who's the most cliche villain you could think of?
Yeah, probably one of the tentacles.
Right.
What's his name?
It's got the laugh.
Mm-hmm. Is that too easy? Am I totally cheating here?
Well,
might
no, but I haven't thought of anything, so I'm going to disqualify it. Yeah, not the tentacles.
Definitely, absolutely not.
I have that
That's
written
just,
down here. Yeah, you can't pick that.
yeah. No, I actually wrote underneath it, do not accept this answer. So,
Under no, all right. I mean, because I'm looking at a comprehensive list here. It's a lot of them,
mhm,
actually. A lot of them are very
mhm.
just like, you know, stand-in
I
villain.
mean, not LeChuck. He's not
Yeah,
the first one that comes to mind here.
yeah, yeah. Not the Chuck. Not definitely. um.
Probably not
Because
Daryl
some.
Gates. No, that wouldn't.
Oh, there we go. Jesse Baines. Jesse Baines.
Yeah, Jesse Baines. There you go. We're in the right direction now.
Phew. Okay. Thank God. Because I mean, yeah, he's just a bad guy who does bad things.
Yeah, all around.
He doesn't care if it's a female.
No,
So yeah. Okay. Cool. Done.
we did
So,
it.
who do you think? Okay, I like this one better. Who's the best returning villain? Like comes back through a
Mhm.
series. I might have to cut you off in Quest for Glory.
I was gonna say that there's some great returning villains in Quest for Glory.
Don't give me that authority. Yeah, just do it anyway.
No, returning. Oh gosh, somebody that comes back in more than one
I
game in a
like
series.
Bohol, but I just love Space Quest,
Yeah, of
so
course.
honestly, that kind of has nothing to do with
Well,
Bohol.
you're obviously not allowed to answer that then.
We both decided it'd be a very fickle episode.
It was in my notes. I can't fight the notes.
Oh my God. What was my question?
What is a returning villain?
Thank you. Right.
Yeah.
Dang. There goes the one I was going to pick out of a barrel.
Mhm.
I just want to mention the next one. I'll save it.
That's good. In Quest for Glory.
Fair enough. I mean, it's not like I'm peppering everybody with ideas here.
One of your worst enemies is yourself, and it comes to a head in Quest for Glory 3 when you each have to fight yourselves in an epic battle. And because really, truly, we all know that the only returning enemy we all have is ourselves.
Wow. Yeah, we're developing a bit of a theme here.
Do I like that series? I might like that series. I don't think Quest for Glory gets a lot of ref out there, so I'm like, I might say it a few times.
Yeah, honestly, it doesn't on this show very much because I still haven't played it, so it's fair.
No. And I tend not to go there because we can't talk about it so much. So.
No, I promise that'll be the game I play.
Mm-hmm. Right, promise.
someday.
Oh shit, it's never going to happen.
Well, you know
now.
what? Just make us do that for an episode next. How does that work out? How do we end up doing how did we do indie? Oh, because you watched it.
I watch. It has to have a natural flow. You can't force it. And then Toonstruck happened because you gave me the option to pick a game, and then I picked one. That was an issue.
So. Oh, okay. Well, next time I do that, pick Quest for Glory. Yeah.
Oh, easily. Okay. I said all you need to do is you just need to watch me stream it. I'll stream it. That's good enough.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you have a nice reading voice too. I feel like you do characters. I could really get into that.
Exactly. Or maybe I'll just play through your game again and read through that for now, and we can think about Quest for Glory later.
3 days from Anna, scrap that plan. I need you to beta test it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just reminded me. All right.
Have you seen the way I spelled shit?
Oh no.
Okay.
I'm ignoring that entirely.
What do we? Oh, right. So LeChuck is a great answer. I'm not going to go with because it feels cliche, and neither of us have played the third one, so I'm sure that there's got to be. It's like why talk about anything from the first two, not knowing how it actually all canonically ends. So I'm not going to say LeChuck, but I am going to go LucasArts and say that Fred. Fred is I love him in both games. He's obviously the kind of like. I don't even know if I want to cut that. It sounds like the rainforest.
That's all right. People will enjoy
it. Soothing sounds. I like Fred because here's where I'm oddly convincing the listeners that I mean this. I'm like, here's why this is a real answer, guys. Because in the first one, he's a little one-dimensional, but it's 1980, get off of their back, right? But then he comes back again. And it's nice to see him back and he's like, I love him in Day of the Tentacle. It's really what it is. And he's got cred from being in the first one where you get to weave a little universe together and everything has to be in the universe now, it turns out. So that's nice. And yeah, I like Fred. He's awesome because he's like still kind of a dick villain in the second one. Well, no, he's not a villain. I mean, he's an antagonist in the second one still, but he's not quite like the villain. Like he's trying to fix the situation, really. And that makes for, I think, a lovely dynamic. In one of the greatest games that Anna's almost finished.
Almost. I have a lot of those. Actually, there's a lot more games than I thought because there's so many games where I'm like, dude, I totally finished that. And then I played a game as grown up and I'm like, yeah, no, that I did.
Yeah, getting to, and for anybody not aware by now, she got to the bowling part. I mean, right, she's finished. You're good. Do not play that whole thing over again for like a 90 more seconds cutscene or whatever.
Yeah. No.
Okay, cool. So next question is, who is the most malevolent? Like who's just got the most vitriol? Who's the worst? Just the purest of evil.
The bird in the Prince of Persia game, or I mean in Karateka. It's pretty badass.
Okay, I know that the guy named Jordan made both of them games. He said.
Yeah, Jordan Mercer did make both of those games.
That makes me qualified to be your co-host.
You're doing fine.
And Prince of Persia, the original one, is much better on Mac than it is in DOS. The first one.
I didn't know that.
It's pretty.
I did it on DOS. Huh. Yeah. Have to try that sometime. What is the question?
Chad agrees. Chad, if you're listening, agree in silence, please. I'm actually over here trying to sharpen up really quickly on Loom because I have like a mental tag of that being like just cliche. I mean, obviously because of the name of the villain, but sorry, did you answer yet? Or was this helpful me cutting you off?
No, that's okay. What was the question?
Fair enough. Yeah, it's actually a very good question. My reality is shattering because you don't know. I thought you knew because you knew I knew. No, it's who's the most like malevolent, the most evil of evils. Who's just because you know what I mean. Like not like the worst. Who's like driven by hate, driven by just wanting to see harm on others the most. So it's
altogether bad. What about Dawn from Phantasmagoria,
that's my choice.
The guy that obviously totally can I not? How could I not?
Yeah,
and it's not even Dawn. It's the what's his name, the magician dude. So
like the right like how okay, but yeah exactly the spirit of I see what you're saying. Yeah. But on a slightly less deeper cut, just Don from Phantaz. Yeah, Don's the best.
Yeah.
And David, we love you, man. You're awesome. If you're listening, I don't know, it's very sumptuous of me, I gotta say, and I held my water bottle out as if it was like a cool toast moment. So I just feel like everyone should know that. Yeah, David's awesome in that. That is just the embodiment of evil coming alive. So all right, we got the same pick on that. I'm kind of talking loud over my child in the background, but after that we're gonna start winding it down. All right, I feel like we're doing good. We can end soon. Who is your personal least favorite villain? Like that you just didn't enjoy? Favorite. Yeah, not.
See, and I was just contemplating just before I stopped. Back to Quest for Glory. I was just thinking the Dark Master is a great, fully evil antagonist. He's looking for the whole destruction of the world. Right, he's also referred to the world of Gloriana, which is where it's situated, right? And he has different names you have to go by, and he comes back. He comes back into the different games, right? So you're dealing with him all the way through, literally all 5 of the games, right? So he is malevolent, he is powerful, he's more formidable, and he is scary, and he keeps bloody coming back.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Oh, and now we had 2 different answers. And to clarify too, I was gonna because you started talking Quest for Glory, so I just tuned right out as I'm supposed to.
That's good.
Yeah,
you're supposed to. That's what I'm hoping for. Good co-hosting.
This is the goal. Thank you. So I was looking at. I wanted to clarify with Loom because I mean, again, like there's the bishop and stuff like that, and even his mom. There's some arguable antagonists in this one, but there is the one whose name is Chaos. And so it's like if your name Chaos, it's kind of would you say Dark Master?
Yeah, evil sorcerer, probably Dark Master. Well, either way, it's another land destroying kind of a guy.
Right. Yeah,
he's like, I want to bring it all to like the end of everything and everything about weaving and everything about magic. And you could say a sorcerer, maybe. Yeah, evil sorcerer. That's what I'm going to go with.
Right. Okay. Well, there you go. So, oh, right, I'm the question guy. Okay, so what did we? Oh, that was the same question. We just went into
Well,
them
did you
for no
finish it
reason.
off? Because in Loom, you got to talk about it. They do the big face off at the end. Like there's this whole Chaos is a very good villain.
Right, but he's. I don't think he's. I think Don's still the best choice.
Yeah, still,
Yeah.
I agree. Dawn is just personification of the idea. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what was the next thing?
That might be the best one we answer. Like I feel great about that, and I haven't so far, and I won't probably for it's so negative. I'm having a great time. I'm just saying that my answers don't mean anything.
Okay, you'll go to edit and you'll be like, well, we can release this if you want.
I mean, it is Tuesday, like pretty soon. All right, we did our least favorite. So, okay, who's your favorite? Who's your personal favorite?
Personal favorite?
Yeah.
Bad guy?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Why don't you answer that one while I think about it?
That's fair. I thought you'd actually send that hot potato my way a while ago. Yeah.
I've said to you in the past, I love it when people ask my favorite. I remember, and you're like, me too.
Damn it. I don't know how much longer I can stall before I have to start saying stuff either. I can't.
But okay. I can't. I'm trying not to make it Space Quest. I'm trying not to make it Quest for Glory. I'm trying not to make it Police Quest. Like, it's very easy for me to just jump right into those. And I'm trying very hard to step out of that.
This is good. See, we can explain the process.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's part of the podcast, I guess. You know, just the process, man. I'm sorry. So Baron Friedrich von Glauer is awesome. From Gabriel Knight 2. I feel a resounding agreement coming from our listeners in the future. It's just like, yep, you know it. He's you'd be okay with him winning. It's just like he's a lovable villain. He's the worst. There's nothing about him that's good, but it's just, you know, he does a great job. Super handsome actor for what it's worth. If anybody's picking up just crazy gay vibes.
Yep.
Is that cool? Oh shit! Oh no! Oh, I spilled water on my cat.
Oh no! I spilled club soda at the beginning of this, so
Lunchbox.
Not on my cat though.
Oh, it's gonna take weeks to get him back on my side.
It's just like, I've had enough of you now.
Oh my god. Okay, so he's an awesome villain, and I really, really love. I mean, God, honestly, I love Don too, because both Phantasm villains. Because I was going to mention the second one, but it's like I really love Don too. But for the sake of he had his moment, the villain Phantasmagoria 2, it's not just. I'm just being careful with spoilers, but it's quite a complex plot in that game, so you'll be fine. His name is Paul. It's just a guy named me, and that's it. But also, like Curtis, the main protagonist, has some self-sabotaging, arguably what is really going on. It's a really well-written game. Like it's such a sleeper as far as like just quality, like masterful writing. It's like it's the kind of writing of like Gabriel Knight 1 where it feels like it almost doesn't have any business being an adventure game. It's just very like complex adult blah 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 writing, and it's as soon as you say adult, it's like it's not adult. That makes it sound ridiculous. Yeah. So sorry, it's mature. It's anyway, the villains, because let's just say the complex series of antagonists that make up Phantasmagoria 2 is awesome, and that's another game I would want people to get behind, or I'd be preachy about, because it's like it's such an easy game to be like, that probably sucks, because that's how I felt. It's like I don't know. It's just it doesn't seem necessary. It's like a whole different everything vibe, and none of the cast. It's just like, but it's amazing. I think Lorelei Shannon wrote it. Is that her last name, Shannon? So. I don't want to butcher.
Yeah, Shannon.
Yeah, I don't want to butcher. Okay, yeah, she's brilliant. She does such a brilliant job with that game. I just feel like more people should fucking play that game. Sorry.
I've met her a couple of times now, and she is just as beautiful, amazing, and exotic and wonderful as you would imagine her to be. She's just 100% exactly what you'd want.
Yeah. Oh, good. I feel like I've just met her then. Thank you for putting that to bed. Yeah, so play Phantasmagoria 2 is, I guess, the point of this episode. That's all we're trying to say. And maybe I guess something about Quest for Glory. Anna kept banging on about it, and I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's a good place to end. I got more, but I mean, why? So
yeah, we've got a pretty good amount.
Yeah, let's just let everybody. A quick shout out to I see. No, there's no point. I was going to say Dagger Bomb on Raw. I like that too, but no point in ruining the whole game with that. So we'll leave that. But if you probably don't even agree. I don't know. I'm pretty naive. I was surprised.
Right. Obviously.
Right. Exactly. Okay.
And so, are you done? Because last time I finished and you weren't done.
Okay, that was a trap. I'm not done. You're right. You were right to call me on that. I just another one. Shout out to Unavowed and just Wajidai in general. Wajidai does a phenomenal job with their villains.
Yeah.
Unavowed, I thought particularly well in this Mel Carissa and Dredge and one other that I can't remember. It's something Koala, but it's not that at all. But yeah, so Wajidai does some awesome villainry, and Golden Wake was published by Wajidai, but it's Francisco game. Go check that out too. It's so awesome. So yeah, I'm all done.
Okay. Oh, and we can props out to Tim Curry, who's always an amazing antagonist in any game, Toonstruck or otherwise. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
How old is he? Is he okay? Do we need to be worried about him?
We do. He's not. He's older, and yeah, none of it's good.
Oh, Jesus.
I didn't want to tell you when you brought it up.
Wow. Wow. Oh my God. Okay, you're actually serious because now you're. Okay, we'll talk about this later. God damn it.
We'll talk about it later. I'm sorry. On that note,
shattering dreams.
No, I meant to come back to that, but we were having a really good conversation. I'm like, I don't want to fuck it up right now.
Can't believe this is real. Oh my God.
And that concludes, and at this point, you're probably more than ready to leave. And this concludes today's episode of the Classic Gamers Guild podcast. And we hope you enjoyed our not at all deep dive, our surface dive into antagonists. Actually, I had fun. I didn't expect the questions. I think it was great. So I really appreciated it. If you want to stay connected with us and stay updated on future episodes, you can always follow us on Twitter at CGG Podcast and at Phantom Fellows. Like us on Facebook at Classic Gamers Guild, or even check out and hang out for a little while. There's like a whole group. It's a little thing. It's kind of fun. Join us at Instagram, CGG Podcast. Send us an email, mail@classicgamersguild.com. And don't forget to check out our Patreon page at Classic Gamers Guild. You might have noticed a theme by now to support the show. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week for another exciting adventure in gaming.
And also, don't do murder.
Okay, 3, 4, 7.
Funny, it's like I thought you were counting us in. Like she's going the wrong way.
Yeah. All right. We're good.
Okay.